How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Positive Mindset Podcast, where we work together to raise our vibration, lift our perspective, and build a positive mindset. My name is Henry, and in this episode, we're going to talk about how to have infinite energy to achieve and experience anything that your heart desires. But before we get started, we're going to take a few moments to slow down, zero in. We're going to take some deep, healing, meditative breaths to help us align on the frequency that we want in our lives. So you can pick a word. It can be love, joy, happiness, abundance, whatever frequency you want. And we're going to take a deep breath in. And as we're breathing in, you're going to say that word over and over and over again. Really charge yourself up with that energy. And then as you're holding your breath, visualize yourself doing something in that frequency. And then once you exhale, anything that no longer resonates with you will leave you and you'll be in a more positive state. So let's go ahead and take a deep breath in. And out. All right, well, we're going to do another deep breath. This one is about alignment, about getting ourselves in receiving mode so that we can receive the message that we need to hear today to get us in that positive perspective. So just imagine that you were surrounded by the most healing, uplifting energy that's meant specifically for you. It can have a certain color, a certain taste, a certain smell, however you imagine it. And when you breathe it in, it's going to charge you up. It's going to break down the negativity, the blocks, the weight, everything that's just been holding you back. And then once you exhale, it's going to take all of that with it, leaving you in a more positive state. So let's go ahead and take another deep breath in. And out. So how can you have infinite energy? How can you have the energy to achieve everything that you desire? There's so much distraction, heartache, pain, and struggle in our lives. How do we find that power to keep moving forward despite everything that's going on? This is a mindset, when you adopt it, could really change how you accomplish things. And it's this simple. It's letting go of the ego. Ego is self. And I know we talk a lot about how to build a positive mindset so that you can raise your vibration, feel better, have that inner peace, be the person that you want to be. And that's what most of this podcast is about. But there's a second stage to that, and that's letting go of the ego. If you've listened to this podcast for a little while, you may have heard me say what I believe is the path to love. When you're trying to raise your frequency, the path to get there has two moving pieces, and one has to move and then the other, and they have to keep going in tandem. If one doesn't happen, the other can't move. And that first one is growth. We have to grow ourselves. We have to look through the difficult situations, find the love, the patience, the understanding in them, and then bring that within ourselves. That's the growth part. But the next part is giving away. When you grow and then give, no longer is the energy just going within you, but it's actually flowing through you. So it puts you in a positive frequency stream to keep you with infinite energy. But that second part, giving away, the first thing we have to give away is our ego. When we do things for self, and that becomes our primary driver, we get stuck. We may fill ourselves up, but on our true path, we are stuck. Because it's not just about raising your vibration. We are all connected. So we have to focus on raising everybody's energy, whether it's the people around you, people on the internet, people you work with, friends, family members, whoever it is. Their growth is your growth as well. So when you're working on self and you're doing the things to heal and grow yourself, that's okay. But we have to realize the next step to truly get in that flow state is giving the ego, not doing things just for yourself. And for me, that's what this podcast has been. It originally started out as something for me. I thought that I would coach myself to help myself rebuild my career. But it quickly changed to my mindset, what I needed to work on, how I needed to process things. And I kept doing it again and again and again for me. But then slowly an audience grew. And so people started listening. People started tuning in. And then I started doing it for them. I started analyzing the issues with me, the struggles with me, the hard things that I'm trying to work on. I would analyze them and then create a response, a lesson, a plan, a perspective that applies to me and share it with all of you. And so if I don't do an episode, not only would it just affect me, but it would affect you. And that second piece of it affecting you is what keeps me going, because I will mess up for me. I will do things that hurt me. But when I realize that would also hurt you, I want to make sure that I continue. I don't miss an episode. I continue on my process of self-growth and self-understanding. And it's the same for you. Whatever it is, whatever your dream is, when you start realizing what you have to do repetitively, what you have to build that consistency in to achieve it, whether it's your job, the work that you have to do, whether it's your relationship, whether it's your health, whether it's school, whatever it is, the thing that you're trying to accomplish and be the best that you can be at is where you start putting the energy at first. But the second part is giving it away and doing it for the people that will benefit from the more you know. The more education, the more understanding, the more enlightenment that you bring in within you gives you the power to give. And your ability to give that was what will determine your growth. And you can't just do it because you know that's the next step. You have to just do it. Do it without expectation. You might give this energy and not get back what you were hoping for. A lot of times when you tell the truth, that's when people hate you the most. So you have to be okay and just give the energy. And when you start doing that, you start growing, you start giving, you will find that the path you're on has more meaning than just you being successful. The path that you are on means that the people around you will benefit. Think about all the corporations, all the businesses, all the politicians, all these people that frustrate us, that do things that we feel like aren't for the greater good, aren't for our fellow neighbor, that they're all really trying to enrich themselves. Imagine if you became the most healed version of you and then created a company was that big, or became the CEO of Walmart, or became the CEO of Amazon. What if you became the most healed, loving person and then became that? That would create real change in the world that would impact so many people. And so it's not that there's bad people out here. It's not that there's difficulties that we can't cross. All it is an opportunity for us to grow and create the version of ourselves that we want to be. And what fuels us past our own motivation is knowing that other people will benefit too. You don't have to be successful to be high frequency. They're not connected. That's why there's so many people that are rich and successful and extremely nice and helpful and supportive. And then there's other people that have the same amount of money, but they have no interest in helping other people, because achieving a result, material result, has nothing to do with the energy that you are. But people are achieving these results and they're impacting the world. So that's why it's time for us, that's that calling to heal ourselves, be the most healing, loving version being that we can be, and then making it to that leadership role. So that way we can impact others and help others and be the change that we can create a world that we want to see, the world that we wish we had when we were kids, the world that we want for our kids, that will grow them, that will teach them, that will love them, that will forgive them, and then help them understand themselves. So whatever it is you're challenged with, even if it's not your destiny, it's just what you're challenged with right now. Be the best that you can be at it. Not just for you, but for everybody that might know you in the future, that might be watching you now, that can learn from you and grow from your growth. That's how we make a change, and that's how we be the rising tide that lifts all ships. Well, thank you so much for listening. I hope this episode was impactful and got you thinking about what you can do and how you can shift your mindset and get into that flow state to accomplish anything that you desire. And if you want to make sure you don't miss a single episode, make sure you subscribe to my email list. There's a link in the description. It will keep you up to date with every single episode. And if you want to follow me on social media, there's my Instagram and TikTok down below. I appreciate everybody that has followed me there. And of course, Instagram is the best place for direct messages. So if you want to reach out and let me know how the podcast has impacted you, that would mean the absolute world to me. Well, thank you so much for listening. Have a great day, and I can't wait to talk to you next time.